Okay, so the answers for section C. At the start here, we've got desde que. You have to put desde with the K when it's then followed by a conjugated verb. It's not like después de, which can be coming with an infinitive. So desde que, since she has become a celebrity. And you either use volverse famoso, to become a celebrity or to become famous. Or down here at the bottom, you can also say convertirse en a famous person. Notice un personaje famoso. This convertirse en a something with an adjective pretty much works for most things if you're not sure which word to use for become. So she became angry. Se convirtió en una persona contenta. Forget that translation across if you were really stuck. More normal would be se volvió contenta, or better still would be se puso contenta. She became, made into herself into being a happy person. So here we've got volverse and famosa because it's female, and then we've got negarse just next to it. Notice here with negarse that it's an E to IE verb, and it's also reflexive, and it's also followed by a plus the infinitive, and then we've also got a personal a here, and then we've got sus antiguos amigos. Antiguo is one of these words. If you put it in front of the noun, it means former. If you put it after the noun, it means ancient. It's a bit like pobre. If you put it in front of the noun, it means poor, blessed, poor thing, and after the noun, it means not got much money. And if you use grande, but if you put it in front of the noun, masculine or singular, feminine singular, it changes to gran, remember? If you put it in front of the noun, it will mean great, as in important. Or if you put it after the noun, it just means big. So have a look at Sean's grammar in the adjective sections, quite a few that do that, and they're the ones to watch out for. The next bit, here we've got, I've added a to make it clear, because otherwise we don't know with lei, which is used for to him or to her with the gusta verb. They like gusta, and estos libros, and we've got gustan because it's plural. And then here we've got a command, and give them to me. So in Spanish we go command, positive command here. You can tack on to the end of positive commands the direct and indirect object pronouns, but they always go positive command followed by indirect object pronoun followed by direct object pronoun. And here I've just added me. You didn't need it, just to stress the idea and gives a bit of balance between a, ella and a me. And the accent's there because the word ends in an S. Any word that ends in an N, an S, or a vowel will normally be stressed and then next to the last syllable, which would be just here, which wouldn't be right because we wouldn't hear the verb dar. So to keep that idea of it coming from the word verb dar, we've put an accent over the top of it. So it's attention to detail that is really important. This one, next one, number 3. So again, I've added el, so it's clear that we're talking about him, otherwise it could be her. And this is as a trigger, no importa lo que él dijera. It has to be sino, because you can't say no pero, you have to say no sino. And then what he did, hizo preterite tense, is a one-off. This next one, number 4. Okay, it's very like the sort of thing you see in a recipe book, and the normal way to translate those types of sentences would be using the se with the verb, like we've got here. The passive, if you put las patatas fueron hervidas en agua, you would usually then say who that was done by. So when you name somebody, you would use the passive like in English, were fried, literally, fueron hervidas en agua por el chico. But because we haven't said who has done this action, and we're not actually really interested, there's no por, so we don't name that person. We say instead one in general boiled the potatoes, or effectively the potatoes but boiled themselves. So that's a bit of a quirk of Spanish. And number 5, this one's hard. Desde pequeños. You can also say, which is down at the bottom, desde niños, So either or, but it has to be pequeños because we're talking about plural Spaniards. And you also want to notice we've got malcriadas. So that would be the word for to be spoiled, because mimar means to kind of look after and smother, but you already get the idea negatively that it's a bad thing. So malcriar. And look, we've got here, we're using the normal passive, son malcriados, and then por sus padres, just like we might do in English, are badly brought up by their parents, because we've named here who is doing it, and that's the parents. Y quizás está with an accent on, because this here is the reason. Let's get rid of that, that's better. Let's try that one. There we go. Esta es, or you could say esta sea, because you've got quizás, and quizás can use either the normal straightforward tense, or it can use a subjunctive. If you get, so yeah, either or is fine. So either say esta sea es o sea la razón por o la causa de su comportamiento en posteriores etapas de su vida. That's hard to translate, that later in life bit, but I would suggest that that would be the best way to do that. And that's the end of number C, which is also out of 30. So notice a lot of marks now we're getting into translating, and that again is pretty typical.